Hello, my name is Hoàng from the class 10A1 of Ban My School. The topic I want to talk about today is if you have a chance to meet a well-known leader or famous person, what would you talk with them and why? Well, if I have a chance to meet a famous person, I would like to meet Alfred Nobel, a Swedish inventor who is the father of dynamite. So, what is dynamite? Dynamite is an explosive made out of nitroglycerin, solvent, and stabilizers. After it being invented by Alfred Nobel, it rapidly gained wide-scale use as a more robust alternative to the traditional black powder explosive, allowing the use of nitroglycerin favorable explosive properties while greatly reducing its risk of accidental explosion. If I had a chance to meet him, I want to know why he invented it in the first place, and what problems he faced along his way, and then I want to know how it was used during his time after it being invented. Second of all, I want to know how he felt after dynamite was introduced to the public and the government. Whether he feels sad or he feels happy. And most likely it's sad because World War I happened and weapons of war were created from there on, regretful and sadness. If he said to me, of course, but I want to know how he felt happy about dynamite introduced to the public. For a good reason. Like he might tell that dynamite is used to destruct something blocking the way in construction and mining, for example. I would be happy to hear what he would say. Now, let's get to some specific things on the dynamite itself. What material is used to create it? As I just presented at the beginning, it is nitroglycerin as the main ingredient. But what about the others? And if I ask Nobel about it, he would be very likely to say that it used a blasting cap for the dynamite and a detonator to detonate the dynamite itself. The shell itself probably made out of cardboard or any other material like wood, for example. And don't forget about stabilizers too. Now, let's get to some. But for nitroglycerin itself, what was it created from? How it's able to be a more robust alternative than black powder? But, alright, next topic is that what is his life look like? Wealthy man who invented dynamite and have a good progress each year, right? No. As always, every journey to completion always have barriers. I want to know what barriers that blocked and made him in a difficult situation. But let's get that out of the way and to the second one, the Nobel Prize. Alfred Nobel had the vision of a better world. He believed that people are capable of helping and improve society with knowledge, science, and humanism. This is why he created a prize that could reward the discoverers that have conferred the greatest benefit to humankind. But there is one thing that is missing. Why didn't he include math awards? This is a pretty interesting question that I want to ask him about it if I have the chance. Is there any reason that he didn't want to include math in his awards? That's what he will say after all. So how many did he include in his awards? 5 in the answer, but specifically science and literature focus. Last but not least, I desperately want to know more about his life. Ever wonder how his life went? His life isn't straightforward to be a good one, Like what I said before, he faced problems along his way to achieve success in his invention. But there's more behind than just blockades and problems. Where he was born and passed away, where he stayed. Much of my knowledge, he was born in 21 of October in 1833 in Stockholm, Sweden, and died in 10 of December 1896 in Samaro, Liguria, in Kingdom of Italy, which is now Italy. He traveled a lot in his business life, maintaining companies from Europe to America. From 1865 to 1873, he lived in Kummel. From 1873 to 1891, he lived in a house in the Avenue Macloff in Paris. George Born Manor in Karlskrona was Alfred Nobel's last residence in Sweden. Nobel himself remained a solitary character, given to periods of depression. He never married, although his biographers note that he had at least 3 loves, which is strange, but it's quite understandable that he is a solitary person. Well, that's all I can give you at this point. Hope you enjoy listening to me. Why do I want to know more about his life? Well, both didn't have that, but at the same time, I want to know the similarity between my life and his life. Is there anything we are similar in between, like how we live, how we do our routine, morning, lunch, and evening, every day? Well, that's all I can give you at this point. It's quite satisfying to talk about this topic. Thank you for listening then.